Greet all the believers here at the Mosque and watching us on Facebook Live with greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I thank Allah again, and I thank the Mosque. I had the opportunity to go in preparation for this presentation to go back to the YouTube channel that the Mosque has, and I was able to go back and identify all the classes that were the ones I was in particular interested in. This has had to be over 7 or 8 years ago that I gave those classes. Everything is right there. In fact, I went to look at it because I can make reference to it for believers who want that information and don't have to reteach the class, okay? But it's there, right there on YouTube, all right? All of my imperfections, everything is right there. All right, but that's a blessing. It's a real blessing. People can come to it anytime they want to. So the Mosque, they embraced the technology. They embraced it early on, and it's an absolute blessing. It really, truly is. All right, so I want to, I'm going to have to do a little setup for the technology to make sure it's working okay, but let me just make the first announcement before I get into my class. This first Sunday will be, we'll kick off the second iteration, or the second part of our Lending Circle program. And so after the first Sunday is over, and after we complete Asr prayer, those who want to participate in the Lending Circle program, just stay back, and we'll begin our second iteration of our Lending Circle program. We've got 3 Lending Circles that will be available, and but we'll share more information with those who decide to stay back. All right? All right, so with that, let me make some just adjustments to the technology here, because I got I got one video to show and one audio to show, and I want to make sure the technology is working right. And I know I have to increase the sound. I know I have to increase the sound. So just give me a second here, and you can switch the video to the switch the camera to here. Okay. So let me just check this to make sure it's working.
This is Marketplace. I'm Kai Rizdal.
Yep. And I may turn it up just a little bit. Okay. So this first audio, the first audio that I'm going to play, you know, I did a presentation on the new tax law, if you all can remember. It's been a few first Sundays ago. But I talked about the new tax law that was signed into, and I said that what we need to do is make sure we can take advantage of it and not being taken advantage of by it, right? Remember, this class is business and technology, so the focus is going to be from a business perspective. The audio, this particular program is called Marketplace, and it comes on daily. And this particular one, I think, is going to be really important. You're going to see where people, they sign the new tax law, and what people look at, particularly business people, say, okay, now, how can I make this work for me? How can I make it work for me? This is what I'm asking all of us to do. All right. The tax law signed is for all Americans, not just certain Americans. All right. So listen to this. If you have some questions afterwards, you're free to ask them. But listen to it and understand what I mean when I say, listen to how people who the tax law may not have been necessarily targeted to, how they're making some changes in their business to make sure they can take advantage of it. All right? All right. So listen to the audio, and you can ask me questions afterwards. So here we go.
As I said a little bit ago, President Trump put taxes back on the front burner today at that event in West Virginia. For a lot of small business people, though, the new tax law has been on the front burner since it passed last December. In particular, a new deduction for what's known as pass-through income. Businesses and some individuals who don't pay corporate taxes, but whose business income passes through to their individual returns and can be taxed at their individual rate. And now with the new tax code, as I said, there's also a new 20% deduction on their overall taxable income. So of course, just about everybody is trying to qualify, as Marketplace's Nancy Marshall-Genzer reports.
The pass-through deduction was made for guys like 29-year-old Christian Perea, an Uber driver and writer in San Francisco. He's an independent contractor who works out of his apartment.
You might hear my cat meowing in the background.
I spoke to Perea on Skype. He told me he drives 5 to 10 hours a week, mostly as research for his main job, writing for RideshareGuy.com, a blog for Uber and Lyft drivers. He's become something of an expert lately on gig workers and the pass-through deduction.
I'm excited that I might be able to save money.
Perea says his income varies, but typically it's under $70,000 a year. That qualifies him easily to shave 20% off his taxable income because the threshold for the pass-through deduction is roughly $157,000 in taxable income for individuals and double that for joint filers. Perea figures he'll save up to $4,000 on his taxes next year.
I think that this is definitely going to help me be able to do what I want as a self-employed individual or even starting a business.
We've helped many Uber drivers, independent contractors, Lyft drivers, gig workers, even people who play music who incorporate and then have this sort of tax savings.
That's attorney Deborah Sweeney, CEO of MyCorporation.com. It helps entrepreneurs and small businesses incorporate. Sweeney says business is up almost 20% over last year because so many people are trying to take advantage of the pass-through deduction, including Sweeney and her husband, who both have small businesses.
We actually just recently met with our accountant and he said this is going to be great.
She figures they'll save around $28,000 next year. The deduction may also be great for other small business people like plumbers, hairstylists, and realtors. But high earners in specific fields like law, medicine, and investment management generally can't take the deduction because in the eyes of the IRS, their biggest asset is their reputation or skill. It's complicated. And in tax law, complications are the mother of invention.
This is the loophole that your accountant can blow up.
Nick Scher is a 33-year-old CPA in Manhattan. He's been talking with clients about various ways they can squeeze through the pass-through loophole.
So let's say that there's a radiologist.
And she owns her own equipment. What she could do
Is spin off a business.
that business would own the equipment. The radiologist would rent it from herself. And that new equipment rental business would get the 20% pass-through deduction. Scher says you can also become a corporation and put yourself on the payroll. He recently did that for a client.
Net. He's up $71,100. I've earned my keep.
When Scher isn't hunting for pass-through loopholes for clients, he's trying to figure out how to get the deduction for himself. Scher rents an office in an expensive building on Park Avenue. He'd like to set up a real estate company to buy office space. He would then lease the space from his new real estate company. Pass-through deduction accomplished.
I.e. my right pocket will be paying my left pocket.
If you think this deduction is just the preoccupation of accountants, let me direct you to the latest episode of the Showtime series Homeland, where a Russian operative is blackmailing an attorney who fraudulently got Medicaid to cover her aging mother.
Even though she has assets of millions of dollars. Assets you have hidden through two pass-through corporations.
Ooh, the suspense. Almost as exciting as waiting for the final pass-through regulations from the IRS sometime later this year. In Washington, I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer for Marketplace.
Okay, all right. There's a lot in that clip, if you could listen to it. The radiologist, now you know what a radiologist makes, right? Whole lot more than 150, whatever that threshold is. But what are they talking about doing? Setting up a business for the equipment and then renting the equipment from themselves. Yeah. I mean, you can do that. You heard about the organization or the business of people who set up corporations to help people incorporate. Now, right on my website, on YouTube, you go to YouTube classes I taught that the Mosque has put up. I covered all of that. You don't have to go and pay nobody to do that. All right. And if you need some help, you can call me. It's Imam and others have called me, and I'll help you, and it won't cost you a dime. It won't cost you a dime. Because Allah has blessed me. I've got 2 corporations. Allah has blessed me to do it. All right. So this is June, 1st of June. You got 6 months left in this year to take advantage of that tax law, okay? Because it kicks in this year, 2018. Okay. Are there any questions about that before I go to the next video? Yeah, one of my son.
How does that affect an individual if they don't have a corporation? They have, you know what I'm just saying, they're just following their taxes. Does that also benefit them as well?
No, you got to be you don't have to have a corporation, but you got to have some kind of business. You got to have something there where you got some income coming in that's going to get you up to that threshold, you know. So you look at what you are doing and see if what you're doing that you can turn into a business. You know, there's some people who are like myself and Imam, we drive, we partner. And Imam was a consultant. You know, he's a consultant. He set up a business as a consultant.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, so it's really based on what you do. Can you take what you do and set it up as a business and then take advantage of those taxes? As I say again, tax advantages are for all of us, not just for certain people. And if you want to talk to me a little bit more after here, and just talk about, you know, these are some of the things I do. You may be doing a hobby. You may be in a hobby, but I may be tell you, say, you know, if you can do a certain thing, you can turn that hobby into a business. Okay, and take advantage of the taxes. Okay, tax breaks. Tax breaks are not just for the wealthy, although they're getting the lion's share of this tax law. All right, but that's why I'm sharing this information with all of us, so we can take advantage of it also. Okay, so now. Let me now go to the second presentation I want to make today, and that's on Zelle. You know, I spoke about Zelle at the at last first Sunday, and Zelle is one of the online. They call it online wallets. All right, but I wanted to bring this to your attention because. You know, there's challenges in everything that we do, and don't want to fall into this trap. And so let me get this. Let me, as they say, let me key up this next piece of. Give me just a second now. I gotta find it now. YouTube. Oh no, let me just go to the Mosque. Go to the Mosque page, that's how I get to it. This is one of the easiest way to get to YouTube. You can go to the Mosque page. That's what's up on the screen now. And kiss the YouTube button. Okay. And now this is another one. Okay. I'm going to my library because I put it in my library. And here we go. So let me go here to Zelle. And I'm going to have to adjust the sound, but let's listen to this now. Something went wrong. Tap, retry. So what went wrong? That's when, now, technology is great when it's working. Okay, so let's see what went wrong. They want me to listen to the ad.
Do your thing. Flee that mess. Find your inspiration.
At least I can mute the sound. Okay. You know, YouTube, you know, it's free, right? But nothing's really free, right? So they have these ads kicked in, you know, so you can skip them, but it's just, I want to get to what I want. So let's see which, and it still says something wrong. All right, so I'm not going to give up, but I'm not going to watch ads all day either. Oh, here we go.
I told you, dude. Just pay me with Zelle. With 100,000 people signing up every day, Zelle is one of the fastest growing digital wallets on the market.
It's probably in your bank and it's fast as well.
It's also controversial.
What do you think about Zelle?
I think it's quick, I think it's easy, but I don't think it's safe.
But safe is something that Zelle stresses. It's owned by 7 banks,
and partners with dozens more.
And it's backed by the bank, so you know it's secure.
Pamela tried to pay her workman $1,150 using Zelle through her Chase app, but she entered the wrong information and the money went to a stranger.
There were 2 digits that accidentally got switched on the phone number.
Pamela assumed Chase or Zelle would clear up the confusion, but
They simply denied our claims every single time.
Jake Kessel got a similar letter from Bank of America after a problem trying to pay his landlord $725.
My money went to some random person instead of the intended recipient.
In this case, Jake did nothing wrong.
He sent it to the correct phone number, but that phone number has not been mine forever.
Through people who still text him, we got the name of the guy who used to own the phone and learned he might work at this church. So we went looking for him, but couldn't find him. Jake and Terry believe the banks know exactly where the money is, and a Chase account linked to the phone's previous owner.
Whoever created the application failed to put safeguards in place for this exact thing. They should have said, this phone number is registered to so-and-so, is this who you want the money going to?
But that's not the way it works. According to the terms and conditions spelled out in capital letters, you agree that you, not we or Zelle, are responsible for resolving any payment or other disputes that you have.
My hope is that as Zelle develops and some of these issues come out more publicly, that will create more pressure on them to fix those problems.
After CBS 2 contacted both banks, Jake got his money back.
It was just like a sigh of relief. Definitely contacting CBS was what pushed them over the edge to do the right thing.
Dorothy Tucker, CBS 2 News.
In Pamela's case, it was user error. She tracked down the person she accidentally paid, and the woman was kind enough to return her money. Zelle couldn't discuss the specific cases, but did say, quote, "We are always listening to consumer feedback and will continue to enhance our service processes and educational efforts to improve consumer experiences." That woman was kind enough, but that is not the norm.
And then user error is the other issue here,
Right.
too. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of the Wild West, right?
It certainly is.
Well, okay. Let's talk about this in a little bit. I can cut this off now, and we can go back to user error. If you walk up to me, you give me some money, and I said, "What's this for?" "Oh, well, you know, I'm paying such and such, but you don't owe me the money." So you give the person the money back. But this is in cyberspace. Okay. I think the only reason this happened and worked is because they went to the TV stations. And those banks do not want that bad PR. All right. I had an experience. I have to tell this experience, and I'll go back to this. I had an experience at a hotel. My wife and I, we went to St. Louis, stayed at a hotel. I'm not going to say the name of it. But it was a horrible experience. And the topper of it, 9 o'clock in the morning, when we got up to take a shower to leave, all the hot water was gone. This is 9 o'clock in the morning in a hotel. No hot water. I go to talk to the manager. We don't have no manager here. So where's the manager? Well, it's their day off. I said, well, you know, there's no hot water. I want to take a shower. Well, yeah, our technicians are working on it. This is the response I was getting. Right? So I started complaining. I complained to the number, the email address that they sent me. Well, it was online, on the internet. For a whole 2 weeks, I didn't get no response. So I emailed them again. And so eventually I did get a response. We were sorry that this happened. Our property management team at that particular hotel will be in touch with you. Give them 1 week. I gave them 4, whole month, and heard nothing. So I emailed them again. This time it was kicked up to the regional manager. They did apologize profusely. And, you know, we're in this rewards program. So they offered to, because I wanted a refund. or I wanted a credit so I could use it at another hotel. They offered to give us almost the equivalent in reward points. So at least I was satisfied because my next course was to go to social media. I wasn't going to stop until I put it on Facebook, on Instagram. I was going to go take a picture of the hotel. I was getting ready to blow it up. I didn't let them know that. That's what I was getting ready to do. They don't like that bad publicity. They don't want any. They spend too much money trying to build their name, so they don't want anything bad like that to happen. So, but this is what seems that works. You got to, you know what they say, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. You don't squeak, you don't say nothing, people just ignore you. You know. So, but in this case, you do need to do two things. And I've used Zelle, and I'm using it now. You make sure the person has your correct email address and has the correct phone number, so they can send and your correct name. All right, you have to make sure that's correct. You can't assume anything on both ends. All right, they're probably going to be working on this, but there's no way that Zelle going to be able to know if a phone number is your phone number if you haven't given it to them. All right, how are they going to check to see if that's your phone number? They don't know. All right. That's the responsibility of the person sending the money. When you go to Western Union or something like that, and you write down and fill out where you want the money to say, you have to make sure you put the information down right. And so you have to do the same thing here. But it's really great. You know why? Because you can transfer money like that. It doesn't cost you a dime. You go to Western Union, you're going to pay a fee. You go to, what's the other one? At Walmart, what's that one? MoneyGram. You're going to pay a fee based on how much you're going to send. With this, you don't pay anything. And there are more partner banks joining all the time. I think my bank, U.S. Bank is one that just joined Zelle. All right. And we're going to have a family union soon. And one of my responsibilities with our family union is I do the T-shirts for our family union, and I do our fish fry. I do those kind of items. I get them ready, and people send me their money. So I had one of my family members say, "How can I send it to you?" And I told her, she said, "Do you do quick pay with Zelle?" I said, "Yep." So she paid for her stuff, her T-shirts. It goes right in my business account with Zelle, and she gets a receipt, has my name, what it was paid for, everything. Okay. So, and it doesn't cost me any fees. All right. So for PayPal, some of those they charge you, right? So it's great. So I wanted to just do that. I'm going to make my presentation short this week. I just want to give follow-ups on those two projects that I spoke on at the last first Sunday. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We talk afterwards. Yes, you can. That's what these people were talking about doing. Okay. Corporations. I don't want to go into the class right now, but what I will do, and let me do this. Anybody who wants my email address, can you take out a pencil and pen and write it down? Because what I'm going to do is, if you want a follow-up, and I will be glad to email you the links for YouTube for that class just on how you can set up a corporation. And if you're in Illinois, you're in luck. I shouldn't say luck. You're blessed. Why? Because they reward the fees. It used to cost $500 to incorporate in Illinois. They've lowered it down to $150. It's really profit. Which, non-profit, it's a whole different ball of wax. Okay, this is really a profit corporation when you running the business, because you want to take it. If you're a non-profit, you don't pay taxes anyway if you set up appropriately. Now, but also, let me just make one caveat. When you set up a corporation or an organization, they call it in Illinois, you do it all online, and they do have what they call an expedited fee. The expedited fee is $100, but that means it's about $250. That's a great deal less than $500, plus the expedited fee, which would have been $600. So So there is some advantages for incorporating yourself in a corporation, and you can set up with they call it an LLC. You can only be one person. Don't have to have anybody else in there. And you operate that corporation as your own. You can work for it. It can pay your life insurance. Anything a corporation does for employees, you can be employed by it. You can do that legally, so that you can reduce your taxes, not avoid them. I didn't say avoid them, reduce them. And if you reduce them down to zero, so get them down to zero. Hey, the government got plenty of money. They really do. All right. And the guy who's sitting in the White House right now won't let nobody even look at his tax returns. So he don't tell them how many deductions he's taken. Okay. So anyway, Sister, then you, brother. Yes, ma'am. Walaikum assalam.
So with the corporation fee, is that one-time annual fee, or is there a monthly fee?
There is a one-time fee to set the corporation up. Then there's an annual. They call it an annual fee. It's not a fee. It's you pay for that corporation. And in Illinois, it's $250. Yeah, it's $250 every year. You got to keep your corporation in good stand. In Illinois, it's organized under the Secretary of State's office. They have records there, even public records, where people can just go and they can look at your corporation, who the officers in your corporation, and everything. All that has to be maintained. So you pay that once a year. Yes. But when you pay that once a year, that's deductible from your taxes. All right. We have an accountant who takes care of our accounting to make sure we get all of them. I'm paying everything now, so our accountant can do our taxes. What you want to do is you want to make sure you get all your tax deductions. All right. And my cost for paying my accountant is tax deductible. All right. What do you mean, Gene?
Yeah, I just want to say you mentioned LLC, but you can also do S corp for one person.
Yeah, you can do S. You can do an S corporation. Yeah. Yes, but in Illinois, they do have it, but I find the LLC is just easier to manage, and because one day you may want to expand. One day you may. We operate about 3 or 4 businesses up under, and we have 2 corporations, one in Illinois and one in Delaware.
My son is a CPA, and he's the one that selected
S corporation for you. Yes. And that work, and that's another thing. Find out what's best for you. I have, as Imam says, since I have an LLC, when I started doing Uber and Lyft, I just rolled it right up under. It's called Akbar's Transportation, and it's a division of Akbar Enterprises LLC. And I made the name of the corporation sufficiently broad so I could roll things up under. All right, because when we started for real estate. We did real estate investing. And most of you probably know we sell clothes and stuff like that. Akbar's One Stop, a division of Akbar Enterprises LLC. All right. All right. Any more questions? Oh yes. Let me give you the email address. ARV is in Victor. That's real easy. ARV, and then my last name, Akbar. ARV Akbar @gmail.com. Yes, Akbar, AKBAR. ARV Akbar @gmail.com. Okay, with that, I got 41 seconds left. Okay, I did my time. I used all my time. Thank you all, brothers and sisters, those here. And for those who are watching this on Facebook, if you have a question, you can post it to our Facebook. Just post a question. Or now you have my email. Send me the question via email, and I'll respond to you via email, inshallah. All right? Okay, with that, I greet all of you with the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum.